Japan has a different way of looking at this moment. Your toddler is struggling to reach a wooden block on a shelf. You can hand it to them in 1 second. At dinner, yogurt sticks to their fingers, so you immediately grab a wet wipe. When they pause after a question, you answer for them because you think they need help. Every one of these actions comes from love. But sometimes helping too quickly removes the exact experience a young brain needs. Not because helping is bad, because development often happens in the few uncomfortable seconds before an adult steps in. There is a Japanese caregiving idea called Mimamoru. It means watching over a child while allowing them room to try. You remain close. You keep them safe. But you do not immediately fix every struggle, fill every silence, or clean every mess. In this video, I will show you 7 everyday habits that can unintentionally reduce a toddler's opportunities to build attention language, confidence, sensory tolerance, and body awareness. And the final rule may completely change how you use wet wipes at mealtime. Before we begin, this is not about refusing to help your child. Toddlers still need comfort, guidance, and protection. The goal is simply to pause long enough to ask, is my child in danger or are they learning? Rule 1, do not rescue every struggle. Your 3-year-old is trying to close the zipper on their jacket. They pull. It gets stuck. Their forehead tightens and they make a frustrated sound. Your hand moves toward the zipper. Pause. When a task is challenging but still within a child's ability, the struggle itself becomes practice. They are coordinating their fingers, adjusting their grip, testing force, paying attention to what worked and what did not. When you finish the task immediately, the problem disappears. But so does the opportunity to solve it. Instead of taking over, stay close and offer the smallest amount of help necessary. You might say, try holding the bottom with this hand. Then wait. If frustration becomes overwhelming, help them complete the final step. Mimamoru does not mean abandoning a struggling child. It means supporting without replacing their effort. Because confidence is not built when a child repeatedly hears, you can do it. Confidence is built when they experience, I tried, I adjusted, and something changed because of me. Rule 2, protect their attention. Your toddler crouches on the sidewalk and stares at a leaf. To an adult, it is just a leaf. To them, it may be color, texture, movement, shape, shadow, and discovery. You take out your phone and say, look at mommy, smile. They turn. You get the picture. But their moment of concentration is gone. Young children are still learning how to hold their attention on one thing. When adults repeatedly redirect them, they get fewer chances to stay with their own curiosity. The Japanese approach is not to ignore the child. It is to enter the child's attention instead of pulling them out of it. Crouch beside them. Look at the same leaf. Say only what is necessary. Green. It is moving. Tiny lines. Now you are sharing attention without taking control of it. The message becomes, what interests you is worth noticing. That is Mimamoru in 1 sentence. Rule 3, remove unnecessary background noise. The television is playing while your toddler builds with blocks. They are not looking at the screen, so you assume it does not matter. But a young brain is still learning which sounds are important and which sounds can be ignored. Adult conversation, advertisements, music, sound effects, and your own voice are all competing for attention. When the room is constantly filled with sound, it may become harder for a child to notice speech clearly or remain focused on quiet play. Japanese culture has a concept called ma. Ma is the meaningful space between sounds, objects, and moments. It is not empty in a negative sense. It is the space that allows everything else to become clearer. Try giving your toddler 1 quiet period each day. Turn off the television. Pause the podcast. Put away the phone. Do not replace the sound with constant questions or instructions. Let the room become quiet enough for your child to hear the block fall, the spoon touch the bowl, or their own voice. Silence is not a lack of stimulation. Sometimes silence is where attention begins. Rule 4, wait after asking a question. You hold up 2 cups. Do you want the red cup or the blue cup? Your toddler looks at them. 2 seconds pass. You become uncomfortable. The red one, you want red, right? Then you place it in front of them. To an adult, the answer seemed obvious. But your child may still have been processing the question. They had to understand the words. Notice the choices. Make a decision. Find the word or gesture. Then organize a response. That process can take longer than adults expect. When we repeatedly answer for children, we may unintentionally teach them that silence will always be filled by someone else. Ask the question once. Then wait. Do not repeat it immediately. Do not add 5 more questions. Do not turn the pause into a test. Count slowly in your head. Your child may answer with a word, a point, a look, or a reach. All of those can be communication. The goal is not to force a speech. The goal is to leave enough room for a response to appear. Rule 5, let the body solve problems. A toddler tries to climb onto a low cushion. They lift one knee. They wobble. You immediately pick them up and place them on top. They reach the destination, but their body missed the lesson. Young children develop body awareness by moving through space. They crawl, roll, reach, push, lose balance, catch themselves. Try again. These experiences help them understand where their body is, how much force to use, and how to adjust when something changes. Of course, safety still comes first. Stay close to stairs, sharp furniture, traffic, water, and dangerous heights. But in a safe environment, not every wobble needs to be prevented. Place cushions on the floor. Allow barefoot play when appropriate. Let them climb over a pillow, crawl under a chair, carry a light object, or stand up without being pulled. Do not create danger. Create safe difficulty. A child's body does not learn balance by remaining perfectly still. It learns balance by almost losing it and recovering. Rule 6. Do not eliminate boredom too quickly. Your toddler finishes playing with a toy and stares across the room. You assume they are bored, so you offer another toy, then a video, then a song, then a new activity. But a quiet pause is not always a problem that needs to be solved. Sometimes it is the beginning of self-directed play. When adults provide constant entertainment, children have fewer opportunities to decide what to do next. Boredom can create a small gap between one activity and another. Inside that gap, a child may begin pretending, exploring, repeating an action, or inventing a new use for an ordinary object. Try sitting nearby without directing the play. Do not immediately ask, "What color is that? What sound does the cow make? Can you count the blocks?" Let play exist without turning every moment into a lesson. If your child hands you an object, name it once. If they begin rolling a cup across the floor, watch. If they stare at an ant crouch beside them, you do not need to perform for your child every minute. Your calm presence is already valuable. And now we come to the final rule, the wet wipe rule. Rule 7. Do not clean every sensation immediately. Your toddler pushes their fingers into yogurt. Some lands on the tray. Some reaches their cheek. A grain of rice sticks to their hand. You reach for a wet wipe before they have even reacted. It feels responsible, clean, efficient, but touching food is also part of how young children learn. Sticky yogurt, soft banana, dry crackers, cold fruit, lumpy vegetables, rice between the fingers. These are not only messes, they are sensory information. Children differ greatly in how they respond to textures. Some naturally enjoy messy play. Others are more cautious or sensitive. Repeated pressure-free exposure can help many children become more familiar with different sensations. That does not mean forcing a distressed child to stay dirty, and it does not mean ignoring hygiene. It means noticing whether the child is actually uncomfortable before automatically removing the sensation. At one meal each day, place the wet wipe behind you instead of holding it in your hand. Let your child touch the food. Smear it. Drop it. Pick it up again. If they ask to be cleaned or show clear distress, help them. Otherwise, wait until the meal is finished. You may feel uncomfortable before they do. That is important to notice. Sometimes the adult is reacting to the mess while the child is still collecting information. Japan also has the idea of Wabi-sabi. It is an appreciation for imperfection where irregularity and things that do not remain perfectly controlled. Parenting young children may require a little wabi-sabi, a crooked zipper, a silent pause, a toy left unexplained, a knee that wobbles, yogurt on a cheek. Not every imperfect moment needs to be corrected immediately. So what can you do tonight? Try this for 3 weeks. Choose one meal each day when you delay wiping until the end unless your child asks for help. Create one quiet hour without background television, videos, radio, or podcasts. Ask one simple question and give your child enough time to respond in their own way. Create one safe physical challenge using cushions, boxes, or open floor space. And spend 10 minutes sitting near your child without directing, teaching, testing, or entertaining them. Do not look for dramatic changes on a specific day. Every child develops differently. Instead, observe small things. Do they stay with an activity a little longer? Try again before asking for help. Use more gesture, sounds, or words. Explore a new texture. Create a game without being shown how. The purpose of this experiment is not to produce a perfect child. It is to help the adult become more aware of the moments when intervention is necessary and the moments when space is more valuable. Now return to the first scene. Your toddler reaches toward the wooden block. Their fingers are covered in yogurt. They pause after you ask a question. You are still there. You are watching. You are ready to help. But you do not rush. Mimamoru, Wabi-sabi. 3 Japanese ideas with one shared message. A child does not only grow through what adults give them, they also grow through the space adults are brave enough to leave. Which of these 7 rules would be the hardest for you to try? Tell me in the comments. And follow for more practical ideas about toddler development and everyday parenting.